Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 4 of the Blue Waffle podcast. My name's Sam, and we're joined, uh, well, and someone else. Hello, Bryce. Okay, my
Wow,
name's Sam, I'm
your
joined here with
professionalism.
Bryce, and we have a
Oh
special
man.
Fuck
guest.
off, I'm Sogs.
You shut the
Fuck
fuck
a
up,
Sog.
okay, and we have a special guest, Aden.
Hello.
Okay,
I'm
shut the
so
fuck
happy
up.
to be here.
Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, God, he's so fucking obnoxious. Alright. Holy shit, dude. Just steal the spotlight away. Okay, anyways.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I'm here to do.
alright, well, not sexual
Alright.
favors. Alright, anyways. Alright, so welcome back. This episode name is gonna be, some shit probably. I don't know. Something like that. Alright, anyways,
Religious people are dumb.
okay, yeah.
Alright, so, my friend, Aiden, you
Yes.
said before we started this recording
And
that
my
you
friend,
had an
Aiden.
idea.
Yes, yeah. So
Our
well,
friend Aiden.
Shut up, my
our
friend
friend
Aiden.
Aiden.
Sorry.
You guys are
Our
both
fr-
equally my friends, all right? Chill
I'm
out.
a little
So,
fucking tilted.
let me fucking talk, Sam. Jesus Christ. All right. So before we started recording, Bryce brought up the idea of multiple universes, and I don't know like how into space you two are, but I found today that scientists had found evidence of a parallel universe.
In a black hole?
No, like it's kind of it's hard to understand, but like they found evidence of a parallel universe um because of these subatomic particles that like flow through the earth, and like I don't know, it's something about the energy levels of like these subatomic particles, but it's super interesting. um it's like, oh, so like NASA has like this machine that can detect subatomic particles and like their energy levels, right? And normally, like, low energy subatomic particles move through Earth because, Earth isn't very active in terms of like, the span of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like all of the subatomic particles surrounding and passing through Earth are very low energy. But this machine that NASA built started picking up particles that were incredibly high energy for Earth's area. Like we're talking like black hole scales of energy
Yeah.
and like
Okay.
supernova scales of energy, which was really weird because usually only those kinds of particles aren't able to pass through Earth. Um, and they come from space and bounce off of Earth and like interact with Earth's particles. Um, but the scientists found through this machine that these high energy particles were actually coming from the Earth itself. And so these scientists theorized that these subatomic particles weren't actually coming from the Earth. They were um, well, they were coming from the Earth, but it was just
They were
it
not
was a
coming
sort of,
from our native Earth, like what we
yes,
know.
exactly. They theorized that it was some kind of like leakage from another universe where physics works the exact opposite of our universe. So
The
having these high
exact
energy,
opposite.
yeah, so like having these high energy subatomic particles come from the Earth would be normal in their universe, but we detected it and we found that to be abnormal in our universe. So, I don't know like
Huh.
the specific details of what, physics are like in that
I was
universe,
gonna
but
say that is out. You're talking about something that is way out of our comprehension level. Like
yeah.
I understand most of what you're talking about. Like I've read articles about that very same machine. Like I don't know exactly its name, but I know what you're talking. But I'm gonna go off on a little tangent here, because you
Okay.
remember when you said like the opposite of our physics. Do you remember our theory about the negative third dimension?
I do. I do remember this. Oh my God, it
Where it
was
was the
like
complete opposite of like what we know as reality and like the laws of physics,
totally,
and like everything is just flipped upside down, turned around, and
totally.
just like completely fucked.
Like thinking back on it and like thinking back on like what we were thinking about, like it, like back then it seemed completely like preposterous and stupid, but like
We admitted
now,
such.
yeah, we did. Like we thought it was, you know, pretty far out there, but like now these scientists have found evidence of like of that
Multiverse.
kind of universe and like yeah, that kind of multiverse. So it's just I don't know. It's just so interesting to like think back on that conversation
So,
now.
do you remember everything about our negative dimension theory?
Honestly, I don't. It was a couple years ago, so I'm kind of fuzzy on it, but
All right, so
yeah.
Sam, you want to hear about the fucking our fucking high ass theory?
Yeah, I mean, I heard about that in like when we were still going to school and everything, but
That's
Yeah.
right. I think
I
I
was
brought
I do remember
like a
you.
half-ass drawn chart.
yeah,
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 yeah. I
yeah.
remember the chart, but I was never like I said go fuck yourselves, and then me and Cody decided to take over Germany and start World War III again. It got a little fuzzy, but
What the
okay,
fuck?
no, but going back to what Aiden was saying, so about the parallel universe, what I was seeing or what I remember hearing about, because I heard about that same exact thing, but I was hearing that like using the black hole in the center of our universe, which is of course that's what it is, uh,
Yeah.
that's like a gateway to that parallel universe because that's like where the energy is coming from, and so when you were talking about like how like there's energy coming from space. Like that's where it came from. So I was like, oh shit. So yeah.
That's
Anyways,
that's that's really
Well,
interesting.
this is all still theoretical, right? We haven't
no.
Yeah.
proven
Oh
that
yeah.
there's a multiverse, right?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah. So
So,
Sorry, buddy, but
hold
like,
on.
God, Sam,
he's dead.
let the man speak.
No, I think he's dead.
Uh-oh.
Got him. Let's fucking go.
You
Okay,
killed him.
our podcast now. All right, but yeah. Anyways, and so like NASA, they were trying to. So you know the new what is it called? Instead of the Hubble telescope, right? You know that there's a new one they're gonna
Um
be launching. That's like
yeah,
even huger
I
and
can't
shit.
remember
Yeah, I can't
I
remember
can't
the
remember
name.
its name, but I know the James Webb Space
Yep, yeah,
Telescope.
yeah, yeah.
That's
The
what it's
Webb. Yeah,
called.
it's called the Weber or something like that. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
yep. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're actually gonna take that, and because that one has like extreme coating on it, they're actually gonna send that shit straight into the black hole, into the middle of our universe.
Really?
Won't
Yep.
won't that get fucked up though?
No, no, no,
I
no,
feel like it
because
would.
no, because what a black hole
That's
does.
literally space condensing on itself on
No, 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 no. A
subatomic
black hole.
levels that we still are not able to comprehend.
So what a black hole is just the escape of it's just the absence of light. So aka it's sucking things in at light speed. So like light can come in, but it can never come out because of how like uh
Yeah, but
it's
isn't
no
it
no
being
it's not
condensed into this
force.
high density matter?
No, no. But
Well, I mean it kind
so
of is, right? Like
it
Like from what
it's
I
not being
understand of black
condensed.
holes, it's like taking all this matter around like I'm no scientist. Like don't I could be fucking miles away from the truth. But from what I understand, black holes are like these huge dense like beings of energy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, they
not
are
I'm not
dense.
using beings as like living
Yep, I know what
beings,
you
but I'm
mean.
mm-hmm.
using being as a yeah. They're
Yeah.
like these huge beings of condensed matter and energy just colliding being sucked in and colliding in on itself to the point where it's so dense and so heavy that it's just incomprehensible.
So what a black hole
So it
is?
makes sense into my head. I get what you're saying though. It makes sense because with such an enormous amount of power behind, like that is literally tearing and warping the very fabric of the universe that we know. So it's not impossible to believe that it's also doing the same to parallel universes, which are said to overlap our very own universe.
So think of it as like okay, I'm gonna like explain like what this so what they were thinking is what a black hole is. If we think a black hole is something that's super destructive, if you even go near it, it's gonna crush you, it's gonna kill you, but it's not. That's what the scientists have now come to, where they're thinking it's actually the opposite. It's something where it might be a gateway to another place, like to another part of our universe. Like it's like a little like a time warp. It's like a little warp station or whatever. What they think is going to happen. So what they're going to do?
So they're saying it's like a wormhole.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's what a wormhole is.
Oh,
So what
have you guys seen Interstellar?
I
Yeah.
Have
oh
you
fuck, I think I might have. Fuck, I don't know. Well,
Okay,
I didn't.
well, in the movie they have this theory, like they're trying to get back to Earth, and they have this theory, like that if you go through a black hole fast enough, it becomes a wormhole and you can travel through it. So
You know how
I'm
fast you'd
thinking,
have to be. You know how
oh, you'd have to
fast
be
you'd have
incredibly
that
fast. You'd have to be
that would
so
be
fast.
beyond humanly. Like, how could a body survive that speed? You would
All
be
right,
blunt. You would be going through that black hole by using
I
sheer
know,
blunt force.
I know, but think, what if we like go back to the Webb telescope, right? And we think like, the distance between
It's not
Earth and
destructive.
It's not
this.
destructive at all. Yeah. Okay, so it is a dense place. Like, you know how the universe is super dense, all right, and then it exploded because energy started forming from that dense matter,
Yeah,
and then
that's the
it
Big
started
Bang.
ramping up. Yeah,
Big
that
Bang.
that's
Yeah,
what the Big Bang is. That's exactly what a black hole is. It's something that it's a super dense place, but it's not something that's super destructive like the Big Bang was. It's not gonna blow up. I mean, a black hole, it can collapse in on itself like a dying star, because that's what a black hole is practically. It's just a dying star
hmm
that just went supernova, but went the opposite of supernova, went like supernova B or something like that. So what they were talking about is like they're gonna send a thing in just to see like where it's gonna come out or where the other end of the black hole is, and like maybe we can like use that to our advantage to travel to another place, like a parallel universe. So when our sun goes out, we go to another place and we perfect like interstellar travel and like that kind of bullshit, or like dimensional travel depending on like wherever, because uh like if you try to pass, let's say like you try to go around the sun, right? The sun bends the fabric of time where the fuck it is right now, right? Because of
yeah,
how like
The
how yes,
fabric
yeah.
of time. It makes sense if it
No,
was
no,
the
the
fabric
fabric
of
of space
space.
and time. Yes, the fabric of space and time. Because where like uh let's say like you're trying to like get, let's say your Earth and like Mars is like on the other end of where the sun is, right? It's gonna take a
Mhm.
lot longer to go around the sun because of like because it practically warps time and space around it.
Well, yeah, it's a huge, dense
Well, no shit.
ball of
That's what I
burning
was saying
matter.
before. Okay. Anyways,
yeah.
okay. So yeah. So what they're thinking is that the black hole, because it's so massive, it like it warps, it's basically like a wormhole because it warps the time and space around it to like, so like they could probably use it to go back in time and see like how everything happened or whatever, or go to another dimension or like another parallel universe where like wherever, I don't know, but
I have a few problems with that, though.
why?
Well, I'm just going off of what you're saying and like
Okay.
what I know and kind of what the general group's knowledge is. But they're trying to send a telescope through this black hole to determine where it'll be, like where it'll end. And you're saying that there are scientists that believe that it can go anywhere.
No, they have no idea. They're just saying that it's not like what
But
we
they
Yeah.
thought
have
it was.
assumptions.
Well, no, because like okay, so what a black hole is, what I from what I understood before taking, like I took an astronomy class, so my astronomy teacher was super like helpful and like answering every question I had about like what the hell we were talking about, because we talked about black holes one day and I'm like, holy shit, it's like something that's super cool. And so like we were talking and everything, and then I brought up the fact that like a black hole is basically like this mirror of of time, of space and time of what happened, because when you go into a black hole, it like all the light can't escape. So whatever happened, whatever where when that black hole formed, whatever happened around it is now trapped inside there like a little image, like a video recorder. It
Sure.
just keeps recording the time and space around it as it lives. You know, right, Aiden? That's
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like
yeah.
that makes sense to me.
Yeah, but now it's actually not. I mean, it technically it is. So like, so if you think about it, if it's like recording the time and space around it, maybe you can go into that time and space. Like let's say when the universe formed, and let's say like you went into that little time slot, you know, or something older or I don't know because it's fucking hard to explain here. It's like a hallway of doors. Like maybe that telescope can go through one of the doors in that hallway, as it's like
Are you, I kind of see what you're saying. Like each black hole is like this image of like a specific place and like
yeah
time in the universe, right?
yeah, but we
So
don't
it's
get to
like a
control it. It's
I was
just
yeah.
gonna say there's no possible way you could control
but
Oh no,
where
yeah
that
yeah
thing
yeah
like
yeah
comes out of.
not
but
at all.
yeah. So that's what I was talking about, where it's like it was like interdimensional places you can go back in time, forward in time through like other present times. Like I mean, talking about multiverse, you can go like literally basically anywhere in a black hole practically. That's what they're making up to be. That's what they're like assuming of what a black hole actually is, instead of the destructive thing of like it sucks everything in and light cannot escape. Which technically we fucking live in a black hole, okay? I mean, there is a black hole because the universe is ever expanding. We have to be living in a black hole inside of a black, like we have to be living inside of a black hole with a black hole at the
Wait,
center of
could
our
you expand on
universe.
that a little bit?
Like,
I
okay,
was gonna say
I
there's
was
something
like,
flawed there that I don't get.
no, what do you
I'm
mean?
I'm thinking about it, and it's like
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Keep saying.
Like,
What do you think about?
All
well,
right.
I'm just like
I think me and Aiden are both like confused on the whole part of we're living in a black hole. Like I
yeah,
understand your theory or your understanding about like a black hole being like a set of
I
doors
think, okay,
and we
yeah,
have
no,
no
okay.
control over it and that we can go through that.
I
That part
think,
makes sense.
I
But to say
think,
that we are a resident within a black hole, that
yes.
I don't believe. I believe that your theory could be correct in that black holes are like
Hold on, let
connectors,
me
like
expand
they're
on this. Let me
hallways.
expand on this. I think that we live in a black hole, that like our entire universe, the thing that's ever expanding, I think that that is in a black hole, and the black hole is ever expanding. Because, I mean,
but
for,
we know
for
that black holes don't expand; they just take things
They're
in.
no, but they do
huge, dense
expand. No, but see,
balls of matter.
yeah, but that's the
Yeah,
thing. They do expand with the dense matter. As they suck everything in, they do expand with
They
that.
don't.
Yes, they do.
yeah.
I'm
That's
pretty
why
sure
they're
they don't
so. That's
expand.
why they're so
That's why they're
dense.
so dense.
Yo,
They don't grow
yo,
in size, but they grow in mass.
yeah.
That's how density works.
Well, yeah. I mean, is it massive form of fucking like what? Wait, hold up.
Sam's whole theory just got fucked
So,
by
yeah,
the simple idea of the difference between mass and density.
just yeah, we just. I mean,
That just got fucked.
just got
Roy.
fucked.
No,
I mean,
but
Sam.
there are huge parts of Sam's theory that I do understand. Like the hallway thing, that makes
Mhm.
sense to me that it's connected.
That totally
But
makes
when
sense.
you start saying we live in a black hole, that's where you. But I do
Yeah,
believe if you were to say that there are black holes that connect our universe to other universes, and that those universes can get to our universe via a black hole, that makes sense.
totally.
I the key. I hear that keyboard, Sam. He's gonna fuck us with some knowledge found on Google. But no matter how much we talk about this though, or Google like different facts to support our crack addict fucking insane theories, we are beyond the realm of having any sort of credibility in describing
Oh,
this
totally.
level of physics. Like
Like
this is
in
all
terms.
from the standpoint of barely graduating high school students.
Oh yeah,
And then
and then
Sam, you're graduate. You're in college. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have one college student and two graduates. We have nowhere near the credentials to even formulate a theory that is worth even fucking expanding upon. Like we
and
could
even
be right. We could be right,
So
but we just don't have that fucking background to truly like comprehend and explain accurately this whole developing situation that is obviously a huge deal within the fucking scientific.
yeah,
Like if
and
there is
even
a new evolution with black holes, that's something for the big brain people. to fucking discuss. We
And
are
even
beyond that.
like, and even for the big-brained people, like
Yo, okay, listen
this
to
is all
this.
speculation. Like
Okay,
nobody has a decent idea of what's actually going on with black holes and like how our universe works because
oi.
we've like stayed within our solar system within like within the entirety of human history. So,
Yeah,
you know,
we barely have any devices beyond that.
So,
yeah.
okay,
So like even the most like, credited people on Earth still know jack shit about the universe.
All right, so you said, Sam, you got some shit. Lay it on us.
yeah, because a black hole can be limitless with like however it expands. Once a black hole forms, it continues to grow by absorbing additional matter. Any black hole will continue to absorb gas and interstellar dust from its
Hold on.
surroundings.
Grow is a very vague word.
Yes, it
Yeah.
expands. Sorry, my bad. What? It grows and expands. And a black hole can expand limitlessly because of, well, wherever the fuck it is. That's what I was fucking. And yes, it does like gain mass and it does become more denser. But I mean, yeah, cool. Like I don't know. I still think a black hole is super fucking huge, and they keep getting bigger.
See,
See,
I have an
there are
article
parts
here.
of that that I agree with,
No, no, no.
and there's parts that
That's
that
simple
don't.
facts right there. I just looked
Yeah.
it up. So
Well,
I
hold
mean,
I
yeah,
on.
you
looked
can
it up
Aiden
continue
too,
with
has
and
your
it says
all
that
right. Aiden
there's
has a point.
okay.
Aiden has a
it's
point. Let's hear the man.
I looked up, do black holes expand, and I found this article that says there is an upper limit to how large black holes can grow.
An
So
upper limit?
they can't be ever expanding, right?
Well, is it?
I mean, I know,
I don't know if this
no,
is a
I
theory,
think I
but there has to be
disagree.
some kind of. Well, okay, Sam, continue.
I disagree because I mean, isn't gravity the thing that like that makes it stop? Like, or isn't friction and gravity the thing that makes it stop? That makes people stop growing or whatever? Because I mean, without
Those are two basic factors of physics. There are obviously much more
well, exact.
greater factors at play
Well,
that
that's the
Well,
effect
determine
of
the
gravity on
limits of.
well, just taking
that's
on that.
that's the
Okay.
effect of like gravity on humans though. Like
No, no, and I mean
gravity
stars and that kind of bullshit.
Well,
like
let's just stick with black holes, okay? Let's
Well,
not
yeah,
expand
a black
towards
hole is a star.
gravitational effect on humans.
No, I'm talking about a black hole. A black hole is just basically a star a red star that blew up or that
hmm
got too massive
And then
and kept
condense.
expanding. Yeah,
yeah.
and
Well, that point is so far agreed upon by all parties here. But it seems to be that the argument here, right now, currently, is whether or not black holes expand, and like in terms of size. I think we all agree that it gets denser, but not everyone agrees that it expands. Because if
well,
it does, then your theory that we live in a black hole is plausible, but according to Aiden's point of view, and then I'm kind of more leaning on Aiden's side about it,
'cause you're a fucking simp.
that they don't. I am a little bit of a simp here because from what I understand of black holes, his beliefs align with mine on black holes. It just makes more sense that they do have a somewhat of a limit. Like it makes sense that they get denser as the more they absorb, but I can't imagine with such a gravitational force that they have that they would get bigger.
Well, and also let's think about this from a logistic standpoint. Like if
Okay.
black holes could grow forever and ever, there would eventually be nothing left, right? Like assuming
True.
like a black hole absorbs things faster at the rate the universe is expanding,
Mhm.
there would like be eventually nothing left and like we wouldn't be here.
Mhm.
It's like
So like
yeah,
just from
that
like
makes sense.
a common sense standpoint, it's just like I don't know, how could that even be possible?
What do you mean?
Like how could we exist if black holes kept expanding?
But that's assuming the rate of their like what would you call it? Like the process of them absorbing matter.
Yeah,
Is
like the
would there
rate
be
of
a
their
technical name? A rate of
I don't know,
absorption?
like yeah, why not? We'll call it the rate of absorption.
All right. So that's assuming if their rate of absorption is greater than the rate of growth of the universe, that's incredibly fucking insane. like I definitely don't have the exact numbers of how fast the universe grows, but just knowing how massive it is comparative to the size of our fucking planet, like
Yeah,
holy fuck, that black hole would be absorbing shit at a rate that we probably wouldn't even notice that we fucking disappeared from reality. We wouldn't even know that our fucking reality was destroyed. That'd be
yeah.
too damn quick.
Well, no, I don't think. I mean, reality. I don't. Okay. Well, never mind.
Are we gonna get into reality and what reality is?
No, that's not what I was talking about. I don't think you're under. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Where did we end off when we went on this tangent?
I
Oh,
don't think this was a
we've
tangent.
always just been kind of talking about black holes and the logistics behind them and the physics that we from our basic understandings.
Yeah,
And we kind of have gotten to well, we were more talking about the parallel universe
Yeah.
theory and how Aden brought up that there's people suggesting that because of certain evidence that that there is another universe. There's a parallel universe to our own that may or may not have physics that differ from ours.
Hmm.
And then that's what led us to the black hole theory because we started talking about that they might be gateways, but because of some misinterpretation or miscommunication, we started getting off on the tangent of what is a black hole and
A
so on
black
and
hole's
so
a
on.
singularity. Okay, cool. Now, no misinformation. All right. So let's get it back to. Let's see.
Let's all right.
Fuck.
Seeds how it is pure speculation at the moment about whether or not there's parallel universes. Do you or do you not think there are parallel and
Oh,
why?
100% I do.
I mean,
100%.
I completely agree with Sam. Like
I mean, what the fuck?
the
Okay, but for what reasons?
You gotta be
Like you
really
can't
small to
just
not.
say
Because everything is. Because, like, I mean, think about it. I mean, it's fucking. Like, we don't. We, of course, we don't know. Um,
yeah,
but, like, I 100% think. I really don't know about. Much about, like. Much about, like, a parallel universe or how it could come to be, but obviously, I mean, dude, it's so fucking huge out there. Of course, it probably is. I wouldn't put it past it. I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't put the idea like say like, oh, fuck off, that there's no way that's real. I I don't know. I would just say
yeah.
like I
I
wouldn't be
think
surprised if we did find one.
I think like there's so little that humans know about the universe.
True.
Like, and that's the universe alone, not to mention like the multiverse or like everything in general, right? Like in terms of
dude,
everything, like on a bigger scale than the universe and the multiverse, like we know nothing. So I think to rule out the possibility of another um, universe is it's kind of like close-minded, I feel,
Yep, I feel
because
that.
it's, it's like, it's like a, I don't know, it's like a 5-year-old saying like, I
That
don't know,
blue is the best color. It's
uh,
like, well, fuck you. You don't know shit. And then you
yeah,
smack him with a baseball bat. Then you
exactly.
throw a
It's
red
like,
granite in his
it's like
face.
a 5-year-old like explaining calculus or something. Like it's so far beyond like our understanding right now that like it's like I feel like it would be foolish to like automatically rule that possibility out.
Yeah, to just deny it and just be like, yeah, no, you guys are stupid for thinking that. It's like, well, okay, cool.
Exactly. So like
uh,
and then like
all
on
right,
top of
boys.
that this new
I think
evidence.
your point has been made clear.
Okay.
We've been
All
talking
right.
about this segment for a long time, so I want to get into kind of a different topic, but kind of along the same lines of like space and the
I
universe.
have a topic.
Hold on. I'm
Oh.
sure it might be the same as mine.
No, 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 no.
Well,
Well,
I want to talk about mindsets here, and one in particular. Why do you think people don't believe there is life beyond? Like it's there's a common argument of is there life beyond the stars? Is there intelligent life? You know, there's many versions of this same argument.
hmm.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's a thing
But
anymore
I'm
because I think what's it called?
there are still people that don't believe. believe
They,
that there are
didn't
aliens.
the FBI, didn't
And
they,
even if it's an outdated argument, I want to know like why did people believe that, or why people still do. I mean, fuck, you still have people who believe the Earth's flat.
well, maybe
Like it's
because
not
they're
out of the realm of
sheeps.
being possible.
Yeah.
I think
I
that
feel
they're
like it
just,
has to do, or go ahead, Sam.
no, no, it's fine. You go.
Okay. Well, I feel like it has to do with humans need to like feel important and like feel that like what they're doing has meaning.
Yep. Like
And I
sheeps.
think thinking about the idea of having somebody else to share this space with and to have like somebody else doing the same things and doing the same processes that our bodies do is kind of terrifying to some people because then it means that like we're not special and what we do doesn't matter. And I think it's hard for people to come to that realization. And so I think it's I feel like because of, people are find it hard to come to that realization, they just blow off the possibility that there could be other life because they don't want to face that existential fear that, there could be others out there like us and we have to share this space and we're not special. So I think that's where kind of that fear comes from. At least that's I guess that's like my hot take about it. So
All right.
Oh.
Well, Sam, do you have
yeah.
anything to add to that point?
So when I said sheeps, I was thinking that like because everyone else goes with the flow of like there's the aliens don't exist. Like say the government comes out with like aliens do exist and like I mean the FBI they did come out with those videos, about like
Yeah.
UFOs being spotted. Now everyone's
Yeah, I
starting to
saw
come
those.
to the agreement was like holy shit wait aliens do exist. And now the people who would just like shun the other people who would be like, oh yeah, aliens do exist. And they would be like, no, shut up, because they just went with the flow. They're just sheeps of the fucking flock, or of the herd, and they would just be like, yeah, no, that isn't true. So I just think that like, uh, I think people just close their minds because what everyone else around them were saying. So I mean,
Totally.
Yeah, that whole closed-minded. That's that's what I really just don't. I don't get why people still like enable that about themselves. Like being so closed-minded to the possibility that is infinite. See, like any possibility is possible. Like that idea alone fucking usually confuses the shit out of people and they don't want to believe in that because that whole concept alone is so hard to like wrap your head around that anything and
Yeah,
everything within reality that we know is possible.
hmm
totally. Like
Even though I
humans can
discredit the whole idea of God, like who fucking knows? Like
no
God
one
could be up
knows,
there fucking chilling and being like, "Oh yeah, little fucker, I'm real," and you don't
right?
believe. So,
It
I
hasn't
could
been
be totally.
disproven.
It hasn't been disproven, hasn't been proven. Anything that has
Exactly.
yet to be can still be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hard to limit. I don't believe in limits. It's just why bother? It doesn't make sense. All right,
Yeah.
let's move on to a different topic. Sam, you said you had a topic.
oh, we still want to go. Oh, okay. Uh, well, I mean,
I mean,
if we want to keep talking about mindsets, I'm kind of down.
if you have like
Well,
something to
mine
add,
was so the whole reason I went with that was pretty much because it kind of tied in with that idea of like what we believe and like what other people are speculating. Like it dealt with space in some degree. Like life in general deals with space. There is a connection. So when you said you had a topic, like I'd like to hear it. We
Okay,
already pretty much discussed mindsets and we have all come to an agreement. There's like no argument there. Like we all agree that closed-minded people are just fucking stupid.
true. We should just castrate them all so that they can't reproduce. All right. Anyways, all right. Have you guys heard about the hollow Earth theory?
I have.
I've heard the
Dude,
name and a little bit about it, but why don't you explain in general what it is for
Yeah.
those who don't know?
so the hollow Earth theory is that like the Earth is hollow and that there's actually this ancient civilization that is super um I don't want to say revolutionized, but they're super like what is it called? super high. They're super intelligent.
Advanced.
Advanced, thank you. I don't fucking Jesus. Wow. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, they're super advanced old civilization underneath, and so this one explorer, okay, I forget his name, but he went to Antarctica to go see and like check around, just like just to survey the place. And when he went there, he found like this hole in the ground. It was like this little cave, and he found this super advanced civilization underneath, and it was like this hole that was super deep in the earth, okay, and it was like blocked by the ice, by like walls of ice from Antarctica, and they've just been isolated ever since. And so he documented all that stuff. He spent some time with them and everything, and then when he was leaving, the U.S. government told him that he's not allowed to talk about any of this. I mean, he had a journal and everything, so he wrote it down, but he didn't talk about it. But his journal was later found, and all that shit got out, and so the hollow Earth theory came to be that there's actually a civilization underground, and that the Earth is hollow. And
Mm.
that's a pretty dope
Hmm.
fucking theory, actually. I really hope that that's true because that's really cool. That's really fucking cool. I would go to
That's
Antarctica
an
just for that.
interesting concept.
And also,
That
another thing
definitely
to
is
make it like
interesting.
really real is that the U.S. government, they made it so that going to Antarctica, like Antarctica is a privately owned place. You're not allowed to go there publicly. Like you can't just like
Hmm.
go to Antarctica and visit it. You're not allowed to because they forbid that. And it was just around the time that that guy died, or I mean that guy fucking left. Hmm, interesting.
I don't I don't have a whole lot to add to that because honestly, that's a theory even well beyond like what I know about like black holes and multiverse. Like that's something I have no prior like research or background knowledge into the subject, so I really can't like aid in this conversation. But I will say that if it is true, that would be fucking insane.
Right? Like okay.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know. It's like
Mhm.
it's hard to add to something like that because for one, like I have heard about the hollow earth theory, but more or less it's not something I've really committed to like delving in now.
So
Mhm.
so when
Well,
I
I mean,
okay. There you go. Sorry about that.
um, okay. I'll go. Well, let's like, I don't know. I feel like it'd be a good place to start with like the plausibility of this thing. So like, do you guys think this could actually be a thing, or do you think this guy was like talking out of his ass and he's like insane or something?
So I think that's actually that was a great segue. Good shit. Good shit. All right. So I was thinking like Pangea and everything and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. And you know how the Mayans went extinct, or they vanished? They didn't go extinct. They vanished off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
They're the
Mm-hmm.
fucking they're the civilization. They went there. They went underground.
Huh.
Kind of fucking
I thought the
crazy.
Mayans were a civilization way after Pangea.
Yeah, fuck you. I mean shit. I was thinking Pangea, but then I'm like, yeah, I understand. Okay, fuck off. Anyways, but like but like okay, well hold up. How the fuck do you get to Antarctica? Okay, weren't they in like central weren't they in fucking Mexico or something?
So that's the big hole in that theory is like it would make sense if the civilization was during the time of Pangea, because then they could have just, when it broke up, they could have just stayed on the landmass that would later become Antarctica. But the Mayans were a civilization way after Pangea.
So maybe the Mayans found the people underground and they noticed. I mean, okay, I I've only seen like Mayan structures like online, and I mean I've never seen them underground. But honest to God, I wouldn't put it past them that they found that civilization and that's where they went. That's where the vanishing of the Mayans went, or like that's how all that happened. They just decided to say fuck this place, we're going under.
Hmm.
Like no, or I mean I don't know, but I mean that seems pretty fucking cool.
It does. And there's I guess I'm like I have the page of like the Hollow Earth theory pulled up, and there's like a whole list of like all of these civilizations that could have had no contact with each other, like 500 years ago,
Mm,
or I guess recording like these caves that go deep into the earth, and
mm,
they all have these like theories that like they go down into some other like underworld thing. And I don't know, I think it's interesting that all of these civilizations that are from like Ireland and Greece and like Native Americans have these same theories. They all share these same theories with each other, but like they had no way of contacting each other.
mm.
So it makes like, I guess it makes me think like, if all of these people from all over the world experience the same thing, maybe there's some possibility that this is possible.
And
Just because yeah, I don't
and
know, just because there's no way these people could have contacted each other and like told each other like, hey, we found this cool ass tunnel that leads to like the underworld. But yeah, there was no way of doing that back then. So there's that, I guess there's that sense of credibility there.
and isn't it like 80% of the caves that we have been undiscovered? Like, isn't like 80% of like all caves that we've kind of found have been undiscovered? Kind
i
of.
i have read something about that.
So like, I mean, if
Well,
what? Fuck.
well, I'm just thinking like I'm trying to almost play devil's advocate here because there is a lot of things with. There's a reason why the Hollow Earth theory is still prevalent to this day. Like there are obviously things that make it see that make it appear plausible, but like those caves, like if they existed and they were something that everyone had access to some degree, where like everyone could share ideas in this underworld place, wouldn't those caves have eventually like collapsed? Like don't
That's
like when you go that
that's
deep
true.
into the world,
Well,
like
no, I think it.
that well, come on, like these are caves that connected to a central point, like the
Well,
underworld, as we'll call it. Those caves are long, expansive, and can go deep into
well,
the earth.
what they're talking about
And
is
the
that.
Hmm.
earth shifts and moves. Like, wouldn't those caves have collapsed?
Well, see,
Like, let's say,
hmm, okay.
like, how did everyone have access at the same time to the underworld to share these very same ideas?
Well, I mean,
That'd be
I
like a
guess
fucking astronomically like hard to like that'd be such a weird possibility like that they all just came down at the same time and went so I discovered something, y'all
you
like it,
know
like they all didn't just they
Yeah, I
couldn't
don't.
have all had a fucking of comic-con down in the underworld around the same time and then these tunnels just disappeared and everyone's like, oh, that was fun, I hope those some tunnels reappear in 100 years.
I don't think the tunnels disappeared. I mean, like what it's talking about is like, I mean, Antarctica. It's not really a place where there's a lot of shifting shit, right?
But no, like Aiden brought up this whole point. Like, isn't one of the points about the Hollow Earth theory is like all these ancient civilizations may have been connected via the underworld?
Well, true, but I mean, you could have like stumbled upon it. There's other. I mean, yeah, there might have been like caves or something that they just magically found. I mean, that's just coincidence of just like going over there. But I'm talking about the people in Antarctica. That's the main
So you're
civilization.
talking about just this single civilization living in this single like isolated world under the ice, pretty much, right?
Yeah, and just people stumbling upon it, just being like, "Oh shit, another a cave that
Well,
goes
see,
really deep."
when I hear Hollow Earth theory, I don't think of like them living under the ice in this just giant what I don't know the specifications behind the civilization. I haven't put much theory into it. But when I initially hear Hollow Earth theory, I almost think of like Jules Verne's like Journey to the Center of the Earth kind of shit.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like there is a world beyond our own that literally is beneath our very feet, where we thought like the mantle and shit was, but there's just this huge world that we don't know.
See, but that can be disproved by just like scientists drilling into the world and being like, "Fuck, that's a
Yeah,
lot of crust. That's a lot of."
that's that's what I was having a lot of problem with because like
But see,
that would be physically fucking impossible.
But see, yeah, that's not Hollow Earth theory though. A Hollow Earth theory is just there's underground civilizations that are just ancient and they're super like advanced. Like I mean, I don't know how advanced they could be, but I mean, I don't know. Underground, you can get a lot of minerals and ores and shit. So I have no idea. But
So wait,
okay,
so going back to these people that live in Antarctica,
mm,
they live under the ice, right? They're totally like
not like
cut
under
off
the
from the
ice.
outside world.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
They're totally cut off from the world. What did
mm.
they eat?
Things from Antarctica. What do you mean?
There
Well,
could be like,
okay,
there could, how like there are cave ecosystems that like live without light and stuff.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
maybe this civilization,
Fucking
hunts in
silkworms.
these ecosystems that don't need light, and they feed off of animals that don't need light because they're underground and everything.
And also
So that
maybe
could
wouldn't the
be a possibility.
physiology of those people though be wouldn't that be different from our own though?
yeah, that's why
I
it's like
do
an
think it
ancient
Living
would.
under those wouldn't be humans. Those would be an offshoot of an evolved people.
and that's why they're so
Yeah.
advanced. I mean, all I know is that the guy put it as they were super advanced, okay, and they were super like they were ancient, of course, because they lived under there for a while. And yeah, I mean, not getting sun, you don't have vitamin D in you, and also like you're probably pale as fuck. So I don't know. I mean, you need the sun for a lot of things, and maybe they evolved to just like to to be fucking mole people. Who the fuck knows, dude? Oh,
I was just gonna say like anytime like I'm just going to go off of like what I've read. And
mhm.
like it's a common belief like but anytime you have a civilization that literally has like evolved and like revolutionized in these sort of underground ecosystems like they are just an underground people. Like they are completely different from our own overworld people we'll call them. Like those
Yeah.
people generally are nothing if not completely just they are completely different from our own. How did this guy like communicate with them? How did he like even know they were people?
I mean, well, I mean, they probably have like physical. Okay, so I mean, they probably don't live all the time underground. Because I mean, I no fucking clue. I wish I was there with the guy. Wish I could talk to them. Uh,
Hmm.
they
I'd be
probably
like, bros, what the fuck?
and if so,
You lived in this shithole?
and if they did, this is probably some Lost City of Atlantis type bullshit where it's like they're so evolved where like they've gone past like needing sun, and they've
Like
made
human
new
limit.
yeah, they've made new techniques of like farming under there. Maybe they've probably I mean I don't know. It's all again like this is all theory and this is all like really cool. But I mean like I wish I had more information on what they are. I'm just what I know
Right.
about the Hollow Earth theory is that it's nothing like a I, I mean, I haven't heard about the underworld and all the places being connected, like all like really ancient civilizations being connected, but I wouldn't put it past it because I mean, being underground as you're digging, you could stumble upon a lot of crazy shit. So I don't know. And I mean, the Mayans disappearing, that could probably be something that leads to like they probably went underground and they probably found this place in Antarctica or somewhere that is like right in the center of our of Earth where like everyone goes to meet and fucking and just shares knowledge. Like what if that's like Atlantis? What if the Hollow Earth theory is the lost city of Atlantis just underground? No?
Wasn't the whole point of Atlantis being like an archipelago of advanced people out in the middle of like, not out in the middle of the ocean, like so far away, but like just an archipelago around like fucking Europe. So
Yeah, but what if?
Hmm.
Like what
how did those
if
people get underground when they were literally an island people?
how did Atlantis go underground? I don't fucking know, but I mean that could like I mean the Atlantis theory or maybe no I wouldn't say that's a theory anymore. I don't know. Fuck. But I'm saying
Well, when
maybe
you're talking about Atlantis, it's so easily broken because it makes more sense that these people, if they existed, like it's that's still up for debate. It These people probably more likely disappeared because of some natural disaster, and then this civilization eventually collapsed. Not like full on collapsed into the waters, probably though. And then over the course of human history, they just got buried underneath these fucking dirt, rocks, and shit. Because the ocean is always ever changing, and adding new layers. There's like te- tectonic plates going over each other. Like Atlantis could be under fucking Africa, just being squished. Like we don't.
So that was just me like putting together two things, which I'm now
Yeah.
like I'm starting to like think about it. I'm like, wait, you know what? That could actually, I mean, fucking maybe because the Atlantis it went underground. It fucking it sank. So I mean,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
maybe
Well,
these
it's not
two
to
are.
say like it necessarily went underground, just it went below the surface.
Yeah, okay, I'm a bitch. Yeah, yeah,
Sorry to rain on your parade there,
yeah,
son.
yeah. Fucking torpedo hits a ship. It fucking just went below the surface of the water. It's fine. Yeah. It did
Well,
sink. It
another
just went
thing
below the
that
I
surface.
kind of
mean,
doesn't make sense to, because you're saying that these people probably were like an ancient human civilization
True.
that disappeared and went into the ground. If
Like
you're
the
going off of that
Atlantis.
alone, that is so mathematically improbable that they survived.
Mathematically improbable? What the fuck? What do you mean? Why?
I
Well,
do
think
agree
about
with
this.
Bryce on that.
You are introducing a species
Okay.
into an environment that is almost completely inhabitable for them. An underground environment,
A cave?
those organisms, and no, you're talking about, yeah, a cave. You're talking about an environment where the organisms that live in there took millions of years to evolve to live there and prosper.
I mean, how can I?
Human life deteriorates at a rapid pace when it is not given proper nourishment. If those people went into the cave, like in Antarctica, sure, there's a chance that they survive after figuring out how to gather food and water, because those are truly the necessities needed to preserve life.
True.
But it's so minute that they actually were able to survive such a transition that they probably died.
See, I
So if
can't.
there are people that are there, those people evolved in that cave from the very beginning. They're not human.
Well, that or they're so far distantly related from us that like there's no like
There would be
recognizable traits between
there
us.
would be no discernible similarity.
Okay,
That is literally a
Exactly.
I would
species that
agree.
evolved from those caves.
Okay, I would agree, but I don't think that they are underground all the fucking time. I think that they are. I mean, okay, so take Antarctica, right? Super harsh, super like it's super
It's just
brutal
a
there,
stark, barren land.
right? Okay, yeah. So take a polar bear making a den. It makes a den in the side of a fucking mountain, right? And it goes underground. That
Yeah.
I think that those people just do that. I don't know. I mean
Well,
I don't think they live underground 100% because I don't think that again yeah I that would be weird. I mean they wouldn't really
all
be
right.
humans. But I what the guy
That all right. Continue,
but what the
because I
guy
got some points once you're done.
but what the guy was talking about in his journal is that there's this ancient civilization that they found underground. So they probably weren't underground fully 100% of the times. I mean, I don't believe that that's possible to be underground 100% of the time because you do need sun. I mean, water is probably not an issue because there's probably like streams you can get because I mean there is ice everywhere, and you could probably like get that underground. I mean, I get my water underground. I don't know about you guys, but like so I mean I could
Well,
see
yeah, there's a water table.
Yeah.
exactly. So I mean that's cleared up. I don't know about the fucking farming there, but maybe they were able to farm in ice or some shit like that, and like develop that kind of farming techniques, new farming techniques like that to do.
Well, I mean, like if you think about it, like Antarctica is just one giant ice sheet. So like
Well, no,
you know,
but with like a okay, well actually I don't want to get into that. Fuck. It's
well,
it,
let me explain a little bit, because like we've never been below this ice sheet before, right? Because like there's so few people out in Antarctica, like researching like the depths below this ice sheet. So like, who's to say that there isn't like little like I guess like humongous air bubble in this ice sheet that has like connection to the Earth's surface, and so this civilization is like able to use the ground and like farm things and get water from the ice sheet and everything. So like that
You know,
I do see Sam like I do see how that could be possible.
okay.
there's a lot of things that make sense with the theory, but there's a big flaw. How can these people be advanced? How can it be an advanced civilization? You realize that you can only pull so much out from the ground, and
Well,
you
I
can
mean,
only do so much with ice and the life and the very sparse life that is on it.
well,
The scarce life, I should say.
That's
so
true.
what? Have you guys seen the pictures of the pyramids in Antarctica?
In Antarctica?
Yeah, yeah,
And,
they found pyramids in Antarctica, and I'm
What?
saying this is dated back in like, I mean, these could be dated back from when Pangea was a thing. Antarctica was not this sheet of ice because it did have like land. There's of course land under the ice that was like once a forest, and what people say is a tropical is like a like a tropical forest, like a tropic land or whatever the fuck, like California or something like that. And that was when Antarctica,
I
Pangea,
need
they
to
were
look.
all like in the in not like spread the fuck out, but like they were Antarctica was closer to the equator back then.
Let me see.
Have you guys seen that the pyramids? So I mean that's why I kind of agree with the theory, and I like the theory because it's like how did those pyramids even get there? And there's three, and you can clearly see their pyramids. What are they made of? I don't fucking know. Probably rock, but like I mean, yeah.
Hmm.
No, you are right. There are pyramids there, but whoever built them is long since fucking dead. They're gone.
But what if they're not?
Like,
What if they're underground?
well, here's just my this guy says that there is a advanced civilization that lives underneath the surface of Antarctica, and it would make sense that they have the ability to enter and exit this place. But like a huge problem with that is if they do exit this place quite often to gather food or whatever they need to do, how is it that we haven't seen that? We have fucking hundreds of satellites zooming around the fucking earth taking pictures all goddamn
I
day.
mean, maybe we
How have we
do.
not found? Well, if
Well,
every
like
I mean,
like we have
clearly,
different countries that have
Bryce.
different
No,
satellites
no, no,
with
no.
different fucking
Let me talk about that because I mean, we can't. Us people, we can't really go to Antarctica publicly.
yeah,
The U.S. government, like I said in the beginning, they have strictly prohibited people from visiting Antarctica. And the satellites, well, fucking of course. Do you think they're gonna give us that information? If
I
they're
don't
trying to
think
hide
but
satellites
something in
my
Antarctica.
point is
satellites aren't going to pick up
how can this be
like
a
Yeah,
global
yeah, and
effort?
also, yeah, true. Fucking in Antarctica, satellites are not gonna pick up little baby specks. They probably look
yeah.
like little
You
pebbles.
know how good those fucking cameras are? Bro, they can see from my fucking house. I'm sure they can find a fucking group of large fucking a group of people fucking just walking out going, "All right, boys,
Okay,
we need some polar bears."
even if we're just gonna, what I would say is I would blame it on like how they treated aliens. They didn't just say aliens are real and that they've seen UFOs until maybe they'll come out with that in some time and later later in our lives that like oh shit hey guys by the way there's an ancient civilization in Antarctica and these are why the pyramids are here fuck sorry guys my bad just like the
Well,
aliens.
I just find that it odd that this is a global effort to keep these people a
Well, it was a
secret.
global effort. Hold up. Hold up.
Like, I guess there can be a point proven that like yes, like with aliens, like it took a long fucking time for people just to outright in the government say, yeah, there's aliens. So, it's not out of the realm of
Yeah,
possibility to believe that they did the same shit with these ancient people. But the biggest
totally.
hole I find is the lack of resources. How can they be an advanced civilization?
See,
There
that's
are
where I agree with you
resources
on this.
needed. There are
So,
resources needed that Antarctica does not have in order to advance.
so what I would say to that is, I'm gonna bring like aliens into this because pyramids are there, just like Egypt. Okay, I'm
Yeah, but
gonna
these things
bring.
were built hundreds and thousands of years, probably during the time of Pangea.
I know. That's what I'm trying to get to here. Okay,
Okay.
so I think that aliens. This was the first project, or this was the first time that aliens ever came to Earth, and they helped the they helped the nomads of that fucking place thrive or whatever. And the reason, I mean, like, come on, there's fucking three pyramids in Antarctica, just like there's three pyramids in fucking Egypt. Okay, so I think that maybe they got some help, and that's why they're super like advanced. They got some help from the aliens because this was the first encounter. To be, I don't know. And then after like the Pangea was split and shit, the aliens were like, wait, fuck, where'd they go? And then they went to Egypt and they built those.
All
Hmm.
right.
I don't know. I think that that's why they were advanced because they got help from advanced people.
That makes sense to a certain point.
Okay, what? How? Please tell me.
But there's
To
also
a
Well,
the
certain
idea
extent.
that like the universe is so humongous that even the possibility of aliens coming into contact with us at that point in time, like I that possibility is like so small.
well,
But I mean,
that is a
it's not
point that I
impossible
would
though.
make, but there's another point that I'd make that even if these aliens did influence and manipulate and aid in the intellectual, just overall evolution of these humans to the point that they became a different being and are an advanced civilization, there are still resources needed to preserve even the most advanced tech. You need materials to repair tools, and obviously you need like food and like there's just so many things that require materials in order to preserve them. And Antarctica does not have all the necessary tools or not all the necessary materials to provide that sort of longevity for even the most advanced items. Because if they do have items that have an infinite durability, infinite use, then why are they still here? These people should be in fucking ships flying across the fucking universe.
No
I mean,
clue.
it could be that like, it could be that like sense of like not wanting to leave the place they've been for so long and like going into the unknown, right?
You think that homesickness in an advanced civilization would be eradicated?
Not necessarily homesickness, but like fear of what's like outside of their their boundaries, right? Like, you
Okay,
know,
that makes sense, but these are an advanced civilization. They probably have intellectuals that are so far out of our realm that we could never possibly understand what they. And you're telling me that these creatures, these advanced beings with such unfathomable amounts of knowledge, fear the unknown.
it's
I wouldn't
it's
say that. I wouldn't say that they have
it's an
infallible.
instinctual like primal fear, right?
Yeah, true. I mean,
It
But
it
you're talking about
it's in every animal.
creatures. You're talking about people who have evolved to such a point that they are far beyond our realm, and you're telling me they still have instincts like
Well,
us, who are
I don't
barely
know if they're
evolved
far
as a
beyond.
that's
species.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I
I
don't
don't
know if
think
they're
that they're
far
far
beyond our
beyond.
realm.
I don't think either because I mean,
I,
the guy went in 1961. Okay,
Yeah.
anything with a fucking pulse is like far beyond. I don't know if you if they stumbled upon someone in their room. let's see a guy. No, no, fuck, no, no, never mind. I'm gonna throw that out. We don't even fucking discard that. All right. I mean, anything looks fucking far beyond in 1961. We had nothing back then. What the fuck?
And also, like, think of like how much technology and we as a society has progressed
That's what I mean. Yeah, yeah.
from, the
And
60s
look how
to
much it's changed us
2020.
over the fucking time period from 1960 to fucking 2020.
Yeah,
We have
Exactly.
that's
That's
changed
what I'm
like
so
saying.
much.
Yeah. So
that's a
And
so
you're telling
60-year
me
difference.
when
That's not a
the
lot in
no
this grand scheme of things,
so I
no, that's
think
not.
right?
And look how much we've changed.
yeah, yeah. So I think that
Exactly.
like maybe
So
if
maybe they're not so far along as we think.
true,
They might be
exactly.
a couple
Okay,
decades, a couple
can
hundred
I
years ahead
can
of
I
us,
have
but
the
like,
floor?
No.
Can I have the floor?
Fuck you.
yes, I want to hear what you
May
have
I
to say.
have the floor? All right.
Let's hear it.
So your argument, if I'm understanding this correct, like there is not much difference within a 60-year period, even though our technology has advanced so much. Is that
Yeah,
what you're saying?
Yeah.
yeah,
We're
pretty
talking
much.
about people who, okay, is another point that we can agree on that these people were in contact with these aliens right around the time of like the nomads in Pangea. Is that what we're using as another stable ground?
Yes. I mean,
For the
I would
sake of
say
the
that.
argument, sure, yeah.
That
That's
time difference alone is enough to disprove that these people have not changed all that much.
What do you
You're
mean?
talking about people who have been given technology that is still beyond our realm of technology when they were still nomads.
Yo, wait,
Then
wait.
they became isolated people and have spent the entirety of the human that of our human record on this planet isolated in their own world with this advanced technology. And you're telling me they are not much different from us
well, if you think about it, like, humans have
biologically
a
and
ment
any sort of change. You don't think that they are
humans
different from us.
I don't, because humans have a mental capacity, right? They have a certain like limit to what they can do with resources given to them and like what their minds can think of, right?
True.
So
And
even
that's why I'm
despite
saying
like
that these are
having
different
these
people. They're no longer
despite
human.
Well, no,
okay,
no, no,
okay,
because it.
despite having these super advanced tools, like there's going to be a certain point where they stop progressing with these tools and they just you know flatten out and they stay at a certain point in time in terms of their progress.
True.
And
Because. Oh.
they were given these tools, so long ago, and we, as I guess like an above ground species compared to them, have progressed so much since that time they were given these advanced tools. So who's to say like maybe these tools from like a 2020 standpoint like aren't super advanced um now, as opposed to,
Back
in the
then.
60s they might have seemed like impossibly advanced and super crazy, but now like maybe not. And because this underground species of humans hasn't been able to progress because of their mental capacity, you know, it's possible that we are catching up to these species theoretically, and that eventually we're all going to get to the same point and we're all going to reach the same limit. And
All right.
and that's why I think that we're not so different from these people in this situation.
In this situation, you know, but it should be acknowledged that we are literally debating an argument that can't be proven.
Well, sure, but part of the fun, right?
So anything, yeah, that's part of the fun. But any and all things that we say are neither wrong or right. I
Exactly.
acknowledge your point, but I'm just going to say flat out that I don't believe it.
And I mean, it's, you know, we're three like dumbasses talking about aliens and underground species at like 1:45 in the morning with no background about this stuff whatsoever. So it's like, you can't really convince anybody else, right? This is all like what we think.
Well,
And it
Support
has like,
SOGs, make that a hashtag.
and
I'm
also,
right.
shut
Y'all
the
know.
fuck up.
oh my God.
Yeah, this guy, someone get
Hashtag
Bryce's
hot
dick out of his
SOGs is
mouth.
right.
Jesus Christ, guy's just
Sogs is
choking on
not
it.
right.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Okay, anyways,
Well, when it's that fucking long, it's hard to not choke on it,
it's
bro.
past this. Yeah, no, and it's past 10 seconds, so no one's fucking watching this. It's fine. We're good.
Whatever. When we get a fan base, you'll see fucking support Sogs as a hashtag, and you'll be like, "What the fuck's that be?
No, no, you
What the
won't.
fuck is that
No,
from?"
no,
And I'm
no,
gonna be
no,
like, "You know
no,
what?
No.
nope,
My people, they have arrived. They have
nope,
come to fucking
no, because
resurrect that art. We're gonna debate this argument in a fucking. It's gonna happen again.
no.
Oh yeah.
I think when we actually do
And you
get
know
a
what? We're
fan
still gonna
base,
be right.
yeah,
What?
I think when we do
Until
get,
the fucking government says that there is an underground people, we can neither be right or wrong.
I mean, it's just
Anything
weird.
we
Yeah.
say is theoretical.
I mean, it's just weird to me that they closed off Antarctica. I don't know. It's just weird to me.
Well,
I mean, why
I
the
mean,
fuck would they do
I
that?
can't understand why they did that.
Why?
That part I
And
don't
space
understand.
is national waters, and I can be a pirate. There are just things that don't make sense.
Yeah, no, but you're just not allowed to do that, man. It's like it's what the fuck? Like, I can
And I'm not allowed
understand.
to go into Area 51.
Okay,
It's
Yeah.
well,
it's
yeah.
just the way things
Again,
are
yeah.
sometimes.
That's also another weird thing. What the fuck? And also, I mean, I can understand. Do you guys know the indigenous people? It's like this weird. It's like an island off the coast of India. That's like that has nothing.
Okay, that
Yes.
that has some
Yes.
background behind it.
Well, yeah, no,
And the
that
guy
yeah,
went and
that's
tried to
real.
like the missionary tried to convert them to Christians, and he got fucking butchered.
Oh no,
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah. Some people, how they found them was on a satellite. No, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, no, not a satellite. It was no, it
Mm-hmm.
was a bunch of fishermen. These fishermen, these guys, they fell asleep.
Satellites,
Oh,
I'm
that's
telling you.
right.
No, no, yeah,
And
yeah,
then they
yeah,
got
yeah.
too close to the
Yep,
island.
yeah, and they were just fucking assaulted with arrows. And so
Hmm.
people they went missing, and so people were just like checking around, and they saw this fucking island. They were like, where did this come from? And so they got too close, and they all died. And then people went to go like, you know, they went to go observe it, and then I guess like India, they blocked it off. They're like, okay, no one can go there. Let them just do what they want to do, because they shot down a helicopter with fucking arrows, and so like and they were talking all about like how we by letting them scrap the helicopter, we just introduced them into the Iron Age or whatever the fuck. So, anyways, so it's where the fuck was I going with this? Hold up.
I don't
I
know.
don't know, man.
Oh, okay, okay,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
remember reading the fucking article about the fucking priest that tried to convert them to Christian. He got fucking skull fucked.
Yeah, see, yeah, yeah. I can understand why they prohibited people from going there and fucking with those people, because those people are so indigenous.
And you're making a player parallel to the indigenous people with the people in Antarctica. Am I correct?
Exactly. Yeah, but no, but to say that there's no indigenous people in Antarctica and they just close it off for no reason, that's really
Oh,
weird.
there's probably reason. It is weird, but there's probably reasons that
Well,
we just don't know.
for what
And
reason?
you could be
Because
very right. There could be indigenous people there, and I could be fucking eating my own ass. I don't know.
well, no, because
We're debating something that can't be proven until the government lets us know.
yeah, because the U.S. government they said that like, oh yeah, there's no government, there's no indigenous people on Antarctica. We're just strictly just prohibiting people from doing it or from going there because of I think it was for minerals or whatever. Because oh no, no, yeah, we're not even allowed to farm that place. It's just there for scientific research or whatever. But what the fuck are they researching if they can't mine or whatever the fuck? I don't understand.
Wait, the United States, you can't enter the Antarctica.
Yes, no, yeah, you're not or no, it
Well,
just I think
How
it was
could they
not
more
ban
like
necessarily.
Antarctica when no country controls Antarctica?
They didn't necessarily ban it. They restricted it to research. So
well yeah, but
Is
there's
that
what
a
no
what
part
like.
of the
research are they?
Antarctic Treaty though?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes,
I
yeah,
would
yeah,
assume
it is.
so.
Yes, yeah. It
They're
is a part of
doing
the
it.
Antarctic
So
Treaty. I did yeah, that's exactly what I looked up on about hollow like when I saw hollow Earth theory. I went straight to that and I was like, what the fuck? Because I was wondering like why like no one can go there. And yeah, it was from the Antarctic Treaty that everyone signed.
hmm.
So that's super weird. because like it's only for scientific research, but you can only do so much research above ground, or maybe caves. I don't know, but you're not allowed to fucking like mine there for minerals. You're not allowed to like I like right. Does am I the only one speaking this shit? Like it seems weird. It seems really fucking sketch and like super weird.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't
if you
know. There's
think about
freedom
it,
of scientific investigation.
But what investigation
They
are
want
they
to
doing?
fucking. If they want to
they're
fucking
not
drill,
investigating the possibility of civilization, though, right? They're investigating other
No,
shit.
no, it's just for scientific research. That they made it super vague like that. But that doesn't make any sense because I mean, scientific research. Like, what are you gonna find there? It's fucking ice. Oh, the water's
Yeah, on
different.
the
no, but
surface
there's like
level,
so,
there's nothing there.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you go below that surface, that's
Uh-huh.
undiscovered, right? So there is a possibility, right?
Yeah.
all right. What research do they find?
You're not.
Huh?
I doubt you're gonna find what they're researching on Antarctica.
It's probably something about penguins or some shit.
True.
Well, no, they deal in astronomy, atmospheric science, biology, earth science,
Okay.
environmental science, geology, glaciology, marine biology,
How can you
oceanography, and
do
geophysics.
geology? How can you do that? How can you do?
There's there's it there's mountains exposed in the ice.
Yeah, I know, but like fucking I don't know.
There's exposed ground. They can do geology.
No, they're not allowed to dig. You're not allowed to dig
You
on
can dig.
Antarctica.
I'm
No,
pretty sure you can dig.
no, it's
Why would geology be allowed if you can't dig?
because they're preserving it. That's what they did.
What?
They're preserving it. You
Bro, I
can't.
could take a shovel to fucking Yellowstone and take a plot of grass and they would not fucking care.
Well, cool. That's Yellowstone, not Antarctica.
That's a protected land though.
It's a protected nice.
Mm,
Not like fucking this though. They didn't make a treaty for
see,
Yellowstone.
you don't you don't have to like dig super far into the ground to get rock samples, right? You just need to, as Bryce said, grab a shovel, scoop up some rocks, and take them back to the lab and analyze.
Yeah, no,
You
I'd
don't have to
be
go
kind of
so far
sketched out
deep
if you
into the
fucking shoved a
surface.
shovel in the ground and then found an ancient civilization. Just fucking eyeball peeking out by.
Just like,
Hello,
yeah.
hello. You
Jesus
have discovered my
Christ.
home.
Hello.
Like I would be fucking like I'd be like out of there. I'd be like, here's the shovel, plot of grass I found in Antarctica. I'm out.
I am gone. I'm going home.
For one, people would be like, where the fuck did you find grass? And for two, what it was under the grass? How did these things
Totally.
fucking happen in Antarctica? What the fuck?
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what fucking geology do they. All right, let's look up the fucking geology. What fucking type of geology they do in fucking Antarctica?
However, in Antarctica, taking
We are
anything
getting
is
so
banned.
in
This
depth
includes
into this.
rocks, feathers, bones, eggs, and any kind of biological material, including traces of soil. Taking anything man-made is also completely banned, as some might actually be research equipment. What the fuck? Bitch? What are you talking about? That's forbidden in Antarctica. Fucker.
What? Could you like repeat that? You said that so fast. I was at like
However,
fucking
in
out.
Antarctica, taking anything is banned. This includes rocks.
Taking anything off
Taking.
the continent.
Yeah, that's
Feathers,
taking it
bones,
away
eggs,
from
and any
Antarctica.
kind of biological material, including traces of soil. Taking anything man-made. Yeah, but like, what the fuck?
They can take it back to the labs in Antarctica. They have
Yeah.
labs there.
Bullshit.
They can take it to the labs and like shove it out into Antarctica
Yeah, true.
again.
True. But yeah, never mind. True. You're right.
Yeah, but like going back to that idea that like you don't have to dig super deep to get rock samples, you know. So there's no telling like, you know, if there really is a civilization in Antarctica that's just super deep into the ice sheet, you know.
True.
Whatever. Elon Musk uses that place as a fucking outhouse. There's probably a giant hole somewhere there.
Wow.
It's just got a little wooden sign labeled Elon
Yeah,
Musk's outhouse.
that's the advanced
Elon
civilization,
Musk is
whatever came out
shitter.
of Elon's fucking ass.
Yeah,
Whatever
Elon
he
Musk is
shat out.
shitter.
The microbes in his shit just like evolved
They
over
evolved.
time.
Developed fucking rocket science in a matter of years.
True.
I mean, they came from Elon Musk.
Dude,
Yeah, I can see that
I hear
actually.
of an interesting fucker, I tell you. Like, not like even more like on a personal level. Like I was listening to a podcast where these two guys were like hanging out with Post Malone, and then Post Malone's like, "Hey, do you want to go to Elon?" And then they like partied there at his like party house, and he just sounded like a weird fucker to like hang out with.
Well played.
He's a very like for CEOs.
Eccentric.
He's very
He's
immature. He's very
an
eccentric. There we go.
He is.
Eccentric.
He is out
I
there.
think that guy's awesome.
Mhm.
I think that guy's badass as fuck, actually.
I
Dude,
love him.
he is.
Like,
He's
Dude, he's doing
badass,
things
but
that are
you,
like,
you have to acknowledge he is just out there.
no shit, he's out there. That's why
oh,
he's badass.
totally. That's
Yeah.
like part of the reason why I love him.
Yeah,
Is because he's
true.
so out there compared to other CEOs.
Exactly. He's not afraid to like.
I just love that fact though. Like, fucking Post Malone is like Elon Musk's like handler for fucking weed.
I know. Oh my god, that's really fun. I
When
love
I
to
heard
think of,
that,
like,
I died laughing because these two guys are like telling the story, and like I believe this story 100% because it sounds like some shit I would tell just on a grander scale.
definitely.
But they're like hanging out with Post Malone because they're like they are YouTubers that have been on the platform for like years, and like Post Malone's like 23, like he was watching these people when he was. So he's like, let's hang out and shit, and they're like, all right, that's fucking cool. We love your music. Next thing you know, they're in fucking Elon Musk's house at like 1 o'clock in the morning partying. They're like, they were just sitting there like, we didn't know how to fucking act. We didn't know how to respond to this situation. We were pretty sure the dogs were robots and that we were going to be turned into fucking AIs. Like, we didn't know what the fuck was going on.
You never know what goes on in Elon's house.
Yeah, that was his fucking party house, too. Like, who fucking knows?
God. I want to be rich enough to like have my regular house and then my party house. Right?
Dude, I'd throw some fucking ragers.
Oh yeah.
I would
Like,
throw. Because it's like the second house. I don't live in there. Like, you want to
Yeah,
jump from the top story and break the balcony? Go ahead.
who gives
Let's
a
see
shit,
what-
you know?
And then rent it
I'll
out
just
when you're not
pay
using it. Like, fucking Airbnb, and they have to come over and be like, see the damage from the party and be like, what the fuck?
In all
But
honesty,
hey.
that would make it more, I guess, like attractive to people because it's like this famous person had a party here and they broke this thing. Want to stay here?
Holy
I can
shit.
see people
Yes.
just like eating that shit up.
Yeah.
I had fucking
Elon Musk took a shit
Joe
in his
Rogan
toilet.
smoking weed and he fucking armbarred the table. Yeah, have fun eating breakfast on that fucker. That thing's split in half.
Dude, I would totally Airbnb at a house like that.
Dude, just imagine like what after every party you like turn it into like a showcase piece of art with like a little like paragraph of what happened to it. This
Yeah.
painting of like Queen Elizabeth II was destroyed and like she was like skull fucked by Post Malone's penis.
Jesus.
Like people would just be like, this is an awesome place to stay.
These guys
This
are
is
cool.
amazing.
These guys are cool.
This
Oh
is
my
fun.
god. This just the amount of stories, like every new party there's like a new piece that you add to the fucking museum of just like crazy shit that happened there. The bed
Yeah.
sheets are put on display like fucking Justin Bieber was raped by like Kylie Jenner here.
No, or it's
Because
just
you
like,
know he's just a giant fucking cuck.
or there's just like
Oh, yeah.
there's just a bunch of tape around that thing, and like it's just a hazard zone now. It's like, guys, watch the fuck out. This bed has been fucked on so many times. Oh god, and you know, just,
You
just
don't
get
even
radiation
they don't even
from
wash
there.
the sheets. It's just irradiating fucking like just
cum.
all the bodily fluids of these celebrities.
You got
It
people
turns into
going,
like a holy relic.
yeah, you got people going in there with hazmats.
Here
Like, hey
is
guys,
the
watch the fuck out. Hold
jizz
up.
stain. Here's the jizz stain of Ben Affleck. Like,
God.
No, he was in his Batman costume.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Fucking Jared Leto in the ass on this bed. while he was dressed up as the Joker.
There's
There
just
we
blood
go.
and cum everywhere on that bed. It's just fucked. It's like, oh my
Blood
god.
and cum.
Say my name. Just
Say
beats
my
the shit out of
name.
him as he's shoving his cock up his ass.
And right here, Jay
God,
Leno, scream daddy. Ha. What a great one. And it's just a
Jared
Daddy!
Leto's
handprint.
doing.
It's just a
Jared
bloody
Leto's
handprint.
doing his fucking. Jared Leto's doing his fucking horrible Joker laugh. Like, ah, ah,
The fuck?
ah,
Ah.
ah.
Dude,
Ah.
I'm sorry. I feel bad for Jared Leto.
I mean,
Same.
I kind of don't. I kind of
kidding.
don't. Like, he
I was
kind
just,
of
I literally
butchered the
just said
Joker.
same because he cut out. I was like, same.
Yeah,
Oh
like
god.
he kind of butchered the Joker,
Yeah, fuck that guy, dude.
and yeah.
But that Walking Phoenix guy, I'm.
Oh,
I cut out a little bit
beautiful.
there. I couldn't expand on my point.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no, I was gonna say after coming, dude, Jared
So
Leto
many
got the
times.
shit end of the stick. Like he
Oh.
he had to compete with people who played Joker. So many iconic actors played Joker.
Yeah.
Like he had to he was like pushed up onto this pedestal and told to fucking dance. He was just like uh, 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 like he's just fucking mentally broken, and they made a movie about it.
Yep.
True.
They're just like, all right,
Well, I mean, like,
we mentally fucked him, so put him in the movie.
well, and then, like, even though the Joker had like such great actors before Jared Leto, there's still like that possibility of you not completely fucking it up.
He fucked it
Well,
up.
no, he tried to do his own unique approach, like every other Joker before him. It's just that the one, oh fuck, what's his name? He died after playing Joker. I feel bad
Heath
for
Ledger.
forgetting it.
Yeah,
Heath Ledger. After Heath Ledger
The
fucking nailed
dad.
it.
Yeah.
People,
The dad.
when
Oh.
you first heard about Heath Ledger playing Joker, everyone went, "What? Heath Ledger? Who the fuck casted that fucking pretty boy bastard?"
Okay.
Then the fucking trailer came out and everyone fucking was moist. They're like, oh my
Moist.
god, I love that.
True.
Well, yeah, dude. Heath
And then the
Ledger
movie
poured
came
so
out and that was
much.
just the final straw. Like
And everyone
that became the definition for Joker. Like before that, it was Jack Nicholson. Like Who Wants to Dance with the
Mhm.
Devil Under the Pale Moonlight? Like iconic. And then here comes Heath Ledger, and it's just like, oh my god, he has redefined the Joker. He made that the fucking roll his bitch. That no one has done a better Joker since him. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix definitely has
Joaquin
come
Phoenix.
close. It was like his
I think
Joker
Joaquin
was
Phoenix,
fucking amazing.
I think Joaquin Phoenix did just as amazing of a job as Heath Ledger. He just did it in his own way.
True.
And I
Yeah,
think,
in his own way. It was definitely a different take from Joker that was it worked. It was interesting. Like it was actually like well done and amazing. And that's another thing. Fucking Jared Leto got shafted not only being the Joker that came after Heath Ledger, but being the Joker that was before Joaquin Phoenix. He is just in between these two great actors,
oh yeah,
and that just
he got
destroys the
sandwiched.
whole. He just got
Butt fucked.
destroyed in that. And also, they just
Come
fucked
on,
up
sir.
Suicide Squad in general.
True.
Oh yeah, all in all,
Everything they
horrible
did,
movie.
because the whole idea behind Suicide Squad was supposed to be kind of like a prequel to like their new Joker, like a new Joker. But they didn't
Yeah.
feature the Joker hardly any.
He had
And
like 2 minutes.
The
of
whole
screen time.
fucking idea, the whole concept they did for Suicide Squad was just fuck. It was so horribly done.
It was
Like
It
they
was
killed
not
Captain
good.
Boomerang in literally like the first 5 minutes
Dude,
of
that
the
guy
movie.
sucked dick, man. Fuck that guy.
I love Captain Boomerang in the
He sucked
comic.
dick, dude.
He was like my favorite one.
Oh, in the comics? Yeah, I don't read that nerd. Okay. So
He was a
anyways.
badass in the comic.
True.
Yeah, in the movie, he's just like, oh yeah, I got this
got this
harpoon that
boomerang.
I
Yeah.
could fly around with.
Yeah.
I got a boomerang and a harpoon I could fly around. You know what? Fuck you guys. I'm gonna leave.
Yeah. That could be stupid as
I was
fuck.
really in the theater like, what the fuck is that shit? What is that?
Yeah, even
And like all the
watching
other
it.
fucking fat, sweaty nerds just sat there in like silence with like deep hatred. Like their fucking sweat and moisture turned into wrath.
And like even in like the movie, I loved the boomerang guy.
What?
Captain
Um,
Boomerang.
yes, Captain Boomerang. There we go. I forgot his name. But
Dude,
yeah, no,
Captain
like
Boomerang's cool. In the
he is cool.
comics and in other games, he's fucking cool. He's like an actually original villain in some cases.
And I think
And
and
in
I
the
think
Suicide
the
Squad, he's cool.
yeah, and I
Not
think
in the
the
movie
actor
though. He
who got
fucking
him
oh.
I think the
The
actor who
actor that
played him
got
was
him
pretty good.
probably just looked at his role and went, "So I'm in the movie for 5 minutes, but you're gonna give me $100,000 to do it?"
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
fuck.
Okay.
That guy made some quick, easy fucking money.
True.
And I mean, he
And
also did a decent job of playing Captain Boomerang.
oh yeah, he
So,
captured that fucking arrogant fucking bullshit that made him cool in the comics.
mm-hmm.
I mean, it also doesn't help that a lot of people don't like Captain Boomerang because, you know, the Flash is not the most popular fucking hero. And Captain Boomerang fights that motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that would explain it. Yeah. That's not
Yeah,
not
you
really
talk about like Batman villains, like yeah, everyone's gonna be like, oh, my favorite's Mr. Freeze, or nah, bro, Bane. That's where it's at, or you just go with the tried and true. You know what, guys? The Penguin.
Oh
Mhm.
my
Danny
God.
DeVito's the Penguin.
True.
Oh boy.
That large, sexy fucker. God, Tim Burton's Batman movies, those are fucking.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Do we want to talk about anything else, or are we fucking like? Are we
We got-
done with this episode?
We got an hour and 30 in it, so.
Oh wow, yeah. I'd say that's
All right. Special thanks
pretty
to our
decent.
sponsors, the 10-second gang.
And also special thanks to Candy Condoms. Make life a little bit better. When she's sucking that
Uh,
shit.
Also, a special thanks from the people who live in Antarctica. They
Yeah.
sponsored this podcast.
They truly did. Thank you,
Yeah.
United States of Antarctica, whatever the fuck.
We would invite them
Continent.
here but for a
United
little
States
bit.
of Antarctica.
Sorry, United Tribe, bastard. My bad. Okay.
There we go. United Tribes.
Tribe.
United Tribes, yeah, of the world.
United Collective of Advanced-Minded.
Also,
Black
special thanks
people.
to our
United-
next sponsor, fucking Black Hole. Thank you,
You-
Sagittarius B. Sorry, it's Sagittarius A, actually. My bad.
Oh,
But anyways,
All
GG played.
right, Sog's out.
Shut the fuck
Alrighty.
up, loser. See? Alright, so yeah, anyways. Thank you, Aden, for being on. It was a pretty,
oh yeah.
yeah, it was a pretty good talk. I think we had a,
I loved it.
oh, did you?
Oh yeah, no. I
That's-
would love to continue doing this, so
Oh, actually though?
actually, man,
Oh,
like
that's so
I
cool, because this is our
I-
last episode.
Oh god.
Season finale.
God damn it.
Be
God
back
damn
next
it.
year. Oh, how
See you
funny
guys
would that
next
be if that was
pandemic.
true? All right, fuck.
Lol.
Sog's out.
Shut the
Next
fuck
episode
up.
coming to you soon.
Alright. Alright.
God, he's such a fucking idiot. Okay, like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends, share with your grandma. Fucking take a shit. I don't know. Do what you want to do. Hashtag 10-second gang if you got this far.
Tapping to hentai.
Well, that's fucking weird. Okay, yeah. 10
Oh.
second.
Big hentai titty.
Okay, well, I mean, I know what I'm gonna be
Alright.
doing tonight.